Hi, today from the noisy Manhattan in New York. Behind me you can see Times Square. I will tell you today about a mysterious letter from the past I have received recently. Other than usually, I want to tell you today a personal story. Imagine you walk along a seaside on a beach, and then you see a bottle with a letter in that bottle. Apparently there is a letter from somebody written several years ago who traveled over oceans and seas to land on that beach for you to find it. And imagine your emotions, the feelings you have like grabbing that bottle, and how excited you are about reading that letter, how curious you are what there is in that letter. And guess what? I found such a letter, except that this letter is not from somebody. This letter is from me. I found a letter from my past. I found a letter which I wrote myself 7 years ago in order for me to read it now. And here is this letter. Can you read it? It's May 8th, 2017. It means it needs to be opened after that date. And how it happened? I will tell you that story. 7 years ago, I was attending a seminar, a lecture called 7 Hours Which Can Change Your Life. At that time I didn't know anything about personal development. It was in Germany, in Stuttgart, by some German guy, Thorsten Havener. You probably don't know him. But this was before I discovered Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, T. Harv Eker, all these motivators, before I discovered self-development, before I started to run marathons, then ultra marathons, before my blogs and the book project, before all that. And one of the exercises at that event, at that lecture, was to write a letter to yourself describing your life as you would like to have it in 7 years. Your best dreams. What would you like to have achieved by that date? How crazy your life is gonna be. And don't limit yourself. Write down your widest dreams and your deepest desires in that letter. And that was the exercise, right? And then to put that in that envelope and put the date in 7 years. So it was May 8, 2010, and the date to open that letter was after May 8, 2017. So I did it. And I forgot a long time about that letter. I was actually carrying it with me, with some of the most important documents I carry with me. And now it's time to open that letter. I don't really remember what was the content of that event, of that lecture, and what happened there. I just remember this one exercise, and I don't even remember what I wrote in that letter. I know I didn't limit myself, right? I wanted to be to go really crazy and courageous about that exercise. But I'm really curious, and now imagine my emotions, how curious and how excited I am now to hold that letter in the hands. This is the letter from my past. And to be able to read that letter which I wrote 7 years ago and to compare the life I have now with the life I dreamed about. And I know I made a really extreme progress in my life. Traveling around the world, meeting the most successful entrepreneurs, the richest people, writing a book about them, and so on and so on. I have achieved so much, or done so much, and I'm just curious what's in there. And I will tell you in one of my future videos about what I read in that letter and what I learned from that letter. But one thing is clear: you can achieve only things that you think of. and that you somehow express. And the more precise you describe your dreams or your plans, the easier or the better or the more probable it is to achieve them. So I would encourage you to write such a letter to yourself and date it to be opened in 7 years from now. So in, let's say, not 2019, let's say 2025, okay? Today's date, and put on it today's date and 2025, and then describe the life you would like to have in 2025. Your craziest dreams, your deepest desires. What would you like to have achieved by then? What kind of person you would like to have become? Okay, let's spice up this game a little bit, and let's write some of our dreams in the comments below. Maybe for those of you who are really courageous, write down the whole letter you wrote to yourself in 7 years. And this will be really a great fun to be able to open such a letter in 7 years, or in 8 years in that case, and read how you thought of your life 7 years ago and what have you really achieved. For me, I know some of the things, or actually everything in that area I have achieved after writing this letter, although I'm not sure how much this letter influenced my achievements on what I have experienced from them, but certainly it was after that. So this event was the first rolling stone in the full avalanche of events in my life, and I'm really excited and curious about the content of that letter. That's it from Manhattan. If you would like to see more of my stories and some success tools, subscribe here. And here you will see one of my best videos. Thank you, and see you from New York.